Welcome to Money Clearly, the podcast that explains everyday money without the mystery. I'm Bridget Gale, and each week we break down the money questions that come up in real life, at work, at the bank, and at home, so you can understand what's actually happening with your money. Today, we're talking about how to read a bank statement, so you can understand what the lines and balances are showing without panic or confusion. If you've ever opened a bank statement and felt confused or uneasy, that reaction is completely normal. This episode isn't about fixing anything. It's not about how to use money. It's not about what to do next. It's about understanding what you're looking at, so a bank statement stops feeling intimidating and starts feeling readable. A bank statement is a historical record. It's not a continuous live feed of money movement. It's not your memory of events. A statement is a snapshot of money that already moved. Everything on the statement already happened. One important thing to know, bank statements aren't designed primarily for people to read. They're generated by banking systems to record activity consistently and to meet internal and regulatory needs. That's why they can feel dense, abbreviated, or awkward to read. Confusion here isn't a personal failure, it's a design reality. And like most things designed for systems, there's a learning curve for humans. Even if you've had bank accounts for years, this still matters because statements are the record lenders, institutions, and systems rely on, not your memory or the app's view. Most of the time when anyone is asking for financial information from your life, they're going to be looking for you to provide them with these types of statements. Earlier in the season, we talked about how money moves through an account before it ever reaches a statement. Let's picture our money in motion like a river. You're not seeing the whole river when you look at a statement. You're standing at one specific point, looking downstream at what has already passed. Some activity is still upstream. Some of it hasn't reached the record yet. We've talked about words like authorized, pending, and posted. Staying with our river image here, authorized is the activity that's far upstream. We know that it's coming, but we can't really see it yet. Pending is the activity that's just upstream. We can see that coming towards us. And posted is what has already passed our position. Bank statements show what has posted, what has already passed that point on the bank where we're standing and already become part of the record. This is the account's history. Every statement covers a fixed window of time. It has a start date and an end date. Only transactions that are posted inside that window appear. This is where our memory and statements often collide. Your memory is based on when you acted. The statement is based on when something became part of the record. Those are different clocks. So let's go through an example to try to make this a little more clear. Let's say your statement covers March 1st through March 31st. You clearly remember buying something on March 30th. When you open your March statement, that purchase isn't there. That feels wrong because in your mind, you know you made a purchase in March. But a statement isn't organized around when you remember a purchase happening. It only shows transactions once they're posted to the account. Some things that you remember may still have been pending at the cutoff, so they don't appear yet. Right? Think about your river. You made a purchase. It's in the river. It's slightly upstream. It hasn't gotten to you. It hasn't posted yet. but the cutoff already happens. So statements only show posted transactions. They're not going to be showing anything upstream. They're always going to be showing downstream information. So that something that you remembered from the end of March will be showing up on the next statement. It will have an early April post date. That doesn't mean that anything went wrong. It means that the statement is recording what fit inside its window. The beginning balance shows where the account stood at the start of the window. The ending balance shows where it landed after everything in that window finished posting. Together, those two balances frame the picture. There's a clear beginning, a clear ending, and then there's the movement that happened in between. If you've ever seen a live photo or a motion photo, a still image that has just a hint of movement, it's a little bit like that. The beginning of the picture is our start date. The end of the picture is our end date. That movement in between, the 1.5 seconds of captured movement, those are our posted transactions. The statement is not asking you to act. It's simply recording what already occurred. Statements list transaction by posting order, not when you intended them to happen and not when you remember them happening. So things can appear out of sequence. That can feel unsettling at first, but it doesn't mean that anything went wrong. It means you're seeing how the record was finalized, not the order that you lived the purchases in. If you want a visual, there's a sample bank statement linked in the show notes. It's just there so you can recognize what statement labels look like. This is especially helpful if you don't have a bank account yet, or you really have never looked at just the sections that we're talking about. You might see a payroll deposit, a debit card purchase, an ATM withdrawal, a Venmo payment, a check, a monthly fee. All of these transactions can be mixed together on one statement. You may also see something like ACH debit. ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse. You'll notice that bank statements are full of abbreviations and shorthand like this, but typically there's some part of the transaction description that you'll recognize. Remember, these statements are designed for systems to read quickly, not for people to read comfortably. We'll spend time in a future episode translating the most common of these abbreviations so they stop feeling cryptic. For now, what matters is simply recognizing that these labels are part of the record, not instructions. The example includes some common transaction types, but it's not meant to match your account exactly. If you compare it to your own statement, you might see every type listed there, and you might see transaction types that we haven't mentioned. That's normal. The goal isn't matching, it's recognition. Fees show up on a statement the way anything else does. They're recorded because they already occurred. The statement isn't warning you, it isn't judging you, it's informing you. These fees matter because they're part of the record. They affect the ending balance the same way any other withdrawal does. If they're not accounted for, the picture won't line up. There's no way to ignore fees. You have to take them into account, or the statement won't make sense. You may have heard the term reconciling a bank statement. Reconciling means recognizing a relationship. Here, in this context, reconciliation doesn't mean fixing, correcting, or hunting for mistakes. It means recognizing the relationship that every statement shows. This relationship is the beginning balance plus deposits minus withdrawals and fees equals the ending balance. In other words, the statement is showing how the amount you started with, combined with money that came in and money that went out, results in the balance at the end of the period. That's it. You're not being asked to calculate anything. This statement is just showing you how the pieces fit together. The numbers will add up. The statement is showing flow, not asking for action. The bank statement is a snapshot of our river during one specific window. The window is defined by the statement's start date and end dates. You're not seeing current motion. You're seeing the past. You're seeing what passed through during that window. A bank statement answers one question. What happened to this account during this window of time? It doesn't tell you what to change, what to avoid, or what comes next. Confusion doesn't mean error. It means you're learning how to read the record. Thanks for listening to Money Clearly. As always, hearing what's confusing helps me know what to cover in future episodes. In the next episode, we'll talk about what happens at the moment of purchase and why debit and credit behave differently. New episodes come out weekly, and until next time, take care of your money so it can take care of you.